You're watching The Morning Show on CKWS.
Welcome back. It is Thursday morning. Good to see you. Some serious subject matter we're going to be delving into here, and we thank you for joining us for this. Kim Irvin Albano is here. She is a director of clinical programming with our friends from Resolve Counseling Services Canada, and also joining us is Kevin Raison. He is a partner assault response coordinator from the clinical approach, and we're talking about ending violence against women, help for both men and women, and we'll get to that in just a second. But of course, we're right around the corner from the UN International Day to End Men's Violence Against Women, and of course December 6th is Canada's remembrance for the victims of L'École Polytechnique, and that happened in 1989. 14 women were murdered there, and every December 6th, vigils take place right across Canada to mark that. Welcome, thanks for spreading this very important information.
Great, thanks to be here, thanks for having us.
Okay, where do you want to start? Because it's such a huge issue, and we were talking off camera how, you know, sometimes it can be hereditary. Little Jimmy grows up seeing daddy beat mommy and thinks it's okay, and then there's that pattern that exists. Sometimes it's anger management. There's a lot of different issues going on here.
It is, and violence against women is such a complex issue and has so many different layers to it. And it's something Kevin and I have both been in the field for a long time, and it's something that's still worth talking about, because even now we know that 83% of the people who have experienced some violence are women. So it's something that's still really relevant in our community, and women have over time been able to form and support themselves and to be able to bring more awareness to this issue. But it's still worth talking about because it's still pretty prevalent in our society.
I've always said guys need to step up and involve themselves in the conversation too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things that we try really hard. And we tend to approach it that it is not an anger management problem, actually, Bill.
Because you work with the men.
Yeah. So, well, we work with men and women, but primarily men. It's about 3/4 of our clients are going to be men. But many of the men that will come through the program actually have no trouble managing their temper around work colleagues and neighbors and friends, but it's more in the intimate relationships where they struggle more. And it's often about trying to assert themselves and get what they want out of whatever situation they're in at that point in time. And so, and it has become normalized for some people. It's certainly not for all of the people that we deal with, but there's always a certain amount that have grown up experiencing that as well. So part of what we need to do is work with them to sort of say that this isn't an acceptable normal, and that we need to sort of look at how can you get what you want out of a relationship in a more positive way, through positive influence rather than through force or coercion.
And to resolve counseling where there's help for both sides.
Absolutely. We have many different counseling programs there, and people can come in and get help through many of our different programs, whether you find yourself being a victim of violence or you find yourself being a perpetrator of violence. We have programs for individuals. We also work with kids who've witnessed violence, and we know that that has a huge impact on children. So some of the really dynamic work that we do at Resolve, and there's many other agencies in the community that also work with victims of violence, really do make an impact. We know that a lot of times people do not come out and get help, and they will either try to resolve it. There may be some fear involved, some shame involved, but what we do know is that when people do come out and get help and find the connection with other people who also have experienced violence, that the opportunities for life to be better than what they are really great.
You've seen gentlemen come out the other side in a positive way.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always a mixed bag of people that we'll get, and there are some that are very interested and ready to make change, where this has been, most of the time when we get them, there's been a criminal charge involved. at that point, and it's been a real eye-opener for them, and they're ready to make some changes, and we do see that. We will always have some people who aren't there yet, who aren't quite ready to make a change or don't even see that there's a problem yet. But a lot of the guys, by the end of the program, have identified that it's made a big difference for them. It's hard to know in the long term because we're not able to sort of track them after they leave to sort of know how they're doing. But a lot of them will suggest that they're managing things better, that they're more receptive to their partner's perspective on things, that they're
Thank you so much. Very important information. We're going to remind you, Wednesday, December 6th, there is a vigil taking place for the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women right here in Kingston, Sydenham Street United Church, 82 Sydenham. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Navigating Life is brought to you by Resolve Counseling, overcoming challenges together.